Whether you're new to running or you're an old hand at it, you've probably heard people talking about cadence. Cadence is basically the amount of strides that you're taking per minute, and it does seem to be a topic that's open to debate.
Indeed, a large proportion of amateur athletes have a slow run cadence and therefore taking fewer strides per minute. But research does suggest that if we want to run faster, then we would be striving to have a higher cadence and therefore more strides per minute.
Yeah, however, as triathletes, we've obviously swam and cycled already, so it is going to affect your cadence. It's not the same as running on fresh legs. So with that in mind, we're going to be taking a look at the ideal cadence for triathletes.
Cadence, also referred to as stride rate, is the number of steps that a runner takes per minute. The most common target you'll see referred to is 90, or that is 180 taking in both feet hitting the ground.
Yeah, well, that actually comes from research that was done at the 1984 LA Olympics, where those elite distance runners were seen to be doing around 90 strides per minute, and some of them even as high as 100.
Running with a higher cadence means more than just moving our feet faster. It changes the position of where our feet land underneath us. So rather than having a foot strike that lands way out in front of our hips, when you have a higher cadence, it lands underneath us and under our centre of gravity.
Yeah, and obviously you're going to be spending less time in the air if you're moving your feet quicker, so that means you're going to be landing on the ground with less impact. And talking about foot placement, if you do have a tendency to overstride, you're going to be naturally putting in a bit of a brake as you land on your heel, so it just prevents that happening as well.
Recent studies have shown that cadence is certainly not a one-size-fits-all. In fact, our cadence is affected by a number of factors: height, our weight, running ability, and of course, running off the bike.
Yeah, and that optimal cadence that we talk about is really for your race pace. So if you're doing an easy run, it's okay to have a lower cadence, and you'll see that elite runners do as well. But you've probably run at the same cadence for your race pace for years, for the whole time that you've been racing, and you'll find to change that even a tiny bit will feel really dramatic, but if you can increase it even just ever so slightly, it will have quite a significant impact on your running efficiency.
You can work out your strides per minute by simply counting the number of left foot strikes or right foot in a minute, and that is our cadence.
Yeah, or you can use a watch. Some will even show you your cadence live, like this one, so as you're running along you can glance down and see how your cadence is being affected, and then obviously you can download all that data and analyse it afterwards to see how your cadence varied for running at different paces.
And now that you've got that number, that is the cadence that you can aspire to changing in different types of run sessions, and ideally we want to take that number and increase it by 5 to 10%. Now obviously if you've got a lovely smartwatch like Heather, then that's brilliant, but if you don't panic. You can just take a section of road that's say between two trees, two lampposts, something you can measure, and go and hit that at your pace, and then do it again but with an additional increase in cadence, and see what your number is, and if you can hit that increase in 10%.
Yeah, and it's also worth taking into consideration how your cycling beforehand affects your running. So in a race situation, try to up your cadence a little bit on the bike, and you will find that that has a positive effect on your running cadence. So 90 strides per minute might be that ideal target, and it's great to have something to strive for, but don't get hung up on it because there are so many other factors that can affect your cadence. For example, how long your legs are, the speed that you're running at, and the distance that you're running as well.
And we're also running off the bike, and we could be hours after having started the race at that point, so there's clearly going to be an element of fatigue. That being said, this could be the ideal time to try and focus on our run cadence to try and make sure we don't go into that slow and laboured run style.
Yeah, well, hopefully you've enjoyed this. Hit the thumb up button if you have, and to subscribe to make sure you don't miss any more of our videos at GTN, just hit the globe. And if you want to see an experiment that we did looking at how changing your cycling cadence can actually affect your running cadence, that video is just here.
And if you want to look at the video that's done about how to improve your run cadence, click here.